What up guys, my name is Megan and I'm going to be starting off a special little reading vlog. This vlog is all about reading book club books that I'm way behind on. So I usually don't partake in a lot of book clubs unless I already own the book or it is like really available at the library. And because of what's happening, unfortunately, a lot of people aren't able to go to the library, but because of my special circumstances of working at one, I have access to like all the books and it's kind of good for this. Sorry, not sorry. I will be like attending 2 book clubs online. I'm just gonna be like joining the live shows and like chatting it up in the chat about the book. The first one that I will be hopefully finishing the book for is the Booksplosion book club. This is a YouTube book club that is hosted by Xtina May. Sorry, did I just say Xtina May? Christina May, Jessie the Reader, and Catty-tastic. These 3 are like best friends or like OGs of YouTube, and they put together this book club every month, and where they usually read a newer release and then they, you know, read it, talk about it. It's pretty cool. I love to watch the 3 of them because they are such old friends, and I wouldn't say they read very differently, but they view each book they read very differently, and it's nice to hear all their points of views. Booksplosion book of the month for April is The June Boys by Court Stevens. Bought this book at Walmart one day because it's beautiful and I have literally no restraint whatsoever. I'm not 100% sure what this book is about. I know there is a kidnapper who kidnaps a group of boys every year and keeps them for 1 month and then returns the boys unharmed, and this follows a cousin of one of the boys who was kidnapped. And, you know, obviously their whole family's in panic over this kidnapped boy, but it amps up when one of the boys who was kidnapped that year turns up dead. And so this girl starts to investigate and try and find her cousin in case he ends up dead too. And that's pretty much all I know about it. I'm guessing it's kind of thrillery. I don't know if it is. You're probably like listening to my description and you're like, that's definitely a thriller, you stupid, but that's how I roll. So that is what we're gonna be reading. It's pretty short. It is only like 350 pages, so I'm pretty sure I could finish this if I really buckle down. I could probably finish this tomorrow or the next day, just 2 or 3 days of reading. And after the book is done, I have another one that I'm going to be starting. This one is for the Literally Dead Book Club. This is hosted by Books and Lala, and this month it's co-hosted with Ellias Reads. And so its main host is Books and Lala, and every month she reads a thriller with another booktuber on YouTube. This book club does not have a specific date. I just know early May is when they will do the live show on Books and Lala's channel. Books and Lala is like the queen of thrillers, and that's what this book club is. It's just reading thrillers. And I just started reading thrillers, so I am not the... I'm a little worried about this one. Even though The June Boys is a thriller, it is a young adult thriller. This thriller that we are reading for the Literally Dead is not. And so I've never physically read a thriller. I've only ever listened to them, and I'm worried. I am a little worried. But anyways, that book is You Are Not Alone by Greer, Hendricks, and Sarah Pekkanen. I only know how to pronounce Pekkanen because I've watched so much Books and Lala. This is obviously a library book, so not only do I need to read this for the live show, I also need to read this to return it. I have almost no clue what this is about. I think it's about 2 sisters who befriend like a random girl, and then their friendship turns into obsession and it gets worse and worse and worse. That's what I think it's about. I, again, have no clue, so if I'm completely wrong, I'm completely wrong. But this book is actually pretty short too. I say pretty short. 350 pages is not short. Yeah, it's about 340, so they're pretty equal length. But I am going to be focusing on The June Boys first, simply because that one, I know the live show, and it is in a week exactly, and I need to read it. I need to read it really quickly. I'm hoping that the You Are Not Alone live show is in like the 2nd week of May, so I don't have to panic too much. but we'll see. I definitely think if I dedicated to it, I could get both books done in this week. So that's what I'm hoping, and I'm going to bring y'all along for my journey, and it's gonna be a fun time. You're gonna get to see me read a book that I am super interested in, and another book that I'm also interested in but terrified to read. That's me. That's what I'm working with. That's all I have for y'all, and I will check in when I start reading. Okay guys, so it's been about like an hour or so since I talked to y'all last. I have read about 30 pages of The June Boys by Court Stevens, and I'm confused basically. Also, I had some details wrong. So to give you the right synopsis, the boys are not taken for a month. They're taken for a year. So they are taken June 1st, and then they're usually returned June 30th of the following year. And I think that's the only thing I messed up, or at least that I know that I messed up so far. The writing is just kind of hard for me to get into. It's very descriptive, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but right now I'm kind of more wanting to get settled into the story, and it feels instead like I'm being told things that I don't necessarily need to know. So that's all I have for right now. I'm about to go to work, and then I will read more after. Okay, so I am 160 pages into The June Boys, probably about halfway through. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I definitely don't hate it, but I just kind of am more curious about it and kind of where it's gonna go. The writing style, I've been thinking all day of what the writing style makes me think of, and it makes me think of Maggie Stiefvater's The Scorpio races. Like, if you like that writing, you'll probably like this writing. Except I feel like in that book, I am able to really connect with the characters because of the writing, whereas in this one, I feel like I don't connect with them as much. Our main character, Thea, I just kind of could care less about her, but this also has like portions of like letters written by Ellias, leaves little notes that like were found later. I'm guessing. I still don't really know. And I like those parts, and I really connect with him, which I guess is good because he's the kidnapped boy, but yeah, I'm just kind of confused, and I won't read any more tonight. I'm pretty tired, so I'm about to go to bed, but I will hopefully finish it tomorrow. I read half of it today, so I can hopefully read the rest tomorrow, and I'll let y'all know more of what I think. Good morning, everyone. I've been doing some reading in The June Boys by Court Stevens. I read probably like 30 or 40 more pages this morning, not too much. I still have over 100 pages to go, but I'm not worried. I think I'll finish it tonight, which is a good thing because I really want to play Call of Duty tonight. I don't want to stay up reading for too long. My thoughts on this book still haven't really changed. I don't know, I guess I'm just getting more confused. At the same time, I'm getting less confused. I never read like the synopsis fully. I kind of just heard what people said about this book. I didn't realize that her dad was like a plot point in this. And also there's like a castle, which is confusing but interesting, and I wish there were less details in this book. And that's kind of a weird thing to say, but I do right now. I just wish there were less details, but then the book's already pretty short, so if it had less details, it'd be shorter, and I don't think it needs to be shorter. My thoughts are definitely thinking that this book it's good, but it's like average good because, I don't know, the writing is so beautiful, but the story is very confusing, and there's a lot of elements in it that I don't understand, and I don't understand why, like, what's the point of them? But I do think that once I get to the end of this book, it could be amazing once I obviously finish it. But I also think that this is a book that would be better the second time I read it, if that makes sense. I feel like if I read it again after this, I would notice a little bit more of why all these details are like this, why the characters are like what they are. And it kind of sucks when you have a book like that where it's going to be better the second time, but this is one I own, so it's okay. At least it's not like a library book or something. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now. I will go to work and then read some more, and I will update you when I've gotten a good chunk of the way farther in. me tell you about my evening. I came home from work. I made dinner. I ate dinner. I watched Netflix. And I finished The June Boys by Court Stevens. And I'm conflicted. But also, look how cute this girl is. Like, have you ever seen anything as cute as this girl right here? Amazing. So here are my thoughts for The June Boys by Court Stevens. I said that this book would be even better if I read it a second time. And I stand by that so hard, it's crazy. The ending of this book was amazing. I almost cried. The only reason I didn't is because I knew I'd have to film this right after to get my most genuine reaction. And I just am blown away, but very conflicted at the same time, because I feel like this book is not worth it until you read the entire thing. And that might sound weird, but here's what I mean. Is there are some books that you know as soon as you're 50 pages into it, this book is gold, this book is amazing. This book, you don't know that until the end. And I applaud that for being such a on your toes type of story, but I'm also frustrated because I just wish that I loved it from start to finish instead of only after finish. Am I making any sense? It is definitely 4 stars for me, and I think if I read it a second time, it's going to be 5 stars. And I definitely will read it a second time, probably this year. Man, those twists, like the twists at the end, and there's more than one, like it is a full ride, and I feel like that ride really is just like a huge like uphill climb for the first 200 pages, and then the last like 150, it is just all like downhill, spins upside down. It is around and around. I can't help but still feel a little disappointed in it, but I think it's more my fault of just not connecting like the author probably tried. Like I said, if I had to compare, hold up, let me get you. If I had to tell you what this book is to me, I think it is a mix of the Scorpio races and Made You Up by Francesca Zappia. If you put these two together, then you get The June Boys. That is how I feel, and it's weird because I loved both of these books so much. These are two like of my favorites of all time. Yet The June Boys just it's not ever going to be a favorite of all time. I can already tell you that. It's just going to be one of those that I think about constantly. Do I make any sense when I talk? I have a lot of problems with it, but I don't know how to put any into words because I feel like every element of the story I hated at one point and then loved at another. And I wish it was a little bit more consistent. I can't wait to see what Kat and Christine and Jessie say, because they are much better at putting their opinions into words. They've been doing it a lot longer than me. Hopefully, listening to them will help me figure out what I'm feeling. But also, I guess that means if you liked this, if you like the writing style, pick up Scorpio Races. If you like, I don't know, I guess the mystery of it, you'll like this. This is about a girl entering a race with horses that are from the sea. It's very deadly. This is about a girl with schizophrenia going to a new school and making a new group of friends that are almost as interesting as she is. I think I'm done for the night. I don't think I'm going to try and read my other book. Let me grab it. It's right next to me. So tomorrow I will start You Are Not Alone by Greer, Hendricks, and Sarah Pekkanen. So hopefully I can do most of it, if not all of it, tomorrow. If I can't do that, then I will finish it on Friday. But that's all my update is. I'm going to go play Call of Duty, and I will check in with y'all when I've started and made some headway in this book. I have been reading some today. I did not read pretty much anything at all this morning because I'm trash. But I am not quite halfway through, but I'm at like 50 or 160 pages. So pretty close. I do think if I put my nose to the grindstone, I could potentially finish it tonight. If not tonight, then definitely tomorrow morning. So yeah, first thoughts, it's good. I just kind of want to know what's happening. So it's very addicting on Pawn Start
because we obviously, like, we know who the bad guy is kind of going into the start of the book, but, like, we don't know why they're bad, and that's what I really want to know. And also, I feel like our main character, she's really relatable, but at the same time, she's a little stupid. Is that mean to say? So yeah, initial thoughts, I'm liking it, and I just kind of want to know what's going on, and I want to get to the meat of it. But I'm going to go make dinner and then read some more.
So I've been reading for like the past hour or so, and I've actually gotten a lot farther. I am now, have this much left to go. I think it's about like 130 something pages, so I'm making good progress. It's kind of later. It's like 10, so I think I'm gonna make myself a bowl of ice cream, maybe play some Animal Crossing or some Call of Duty for an hour, and then jump back in it. But I will definitely be finishing this tomorrow. My thoughts are still sort of the same. I don't necessarily love the main character. Like, I think she's cute and sweet and stuff, but like, she's kind of just like a blah factor for me. I am much more interested in the sisters. I want to know all about Cassandra Jane. I want to know about their friend group. I want to know what they're up to and how they started doing it. I think that's like my favorite part of the book so far, is those like flashbacks. I love those. Shay, like, she just kind of bugs me a little. I don't like characters that are like, oh, I can't save myself without someone else's help. I just personally don't vibe with them. So I think that's my problem with Shay. I also think that she could potentially become very resourceful, and I think that's how she's gonna get herself out of whatever mess that she's getting herself into. I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect what's happening. It's not at all scary yet, though. I guess like thrillers don't usually have to be scary, and I've never read any of Greer, Hendricks, or Sarah Pekkanen, so maybe that's just not their style of thriller, but I was expecting something a little more spooky, but maybe that's coming. Maybe it'll hit me like the June boys in the last 150 pages and just punch me in the gut. Here's to hoping, and hoping I finish this book soon. All right, see y'all later. What an athlete! So I am back from work this morning, and I'm extra tired today because I stayed up way too late finishing You Are Not Alone by Greer, Hendricks, and Sarah Pekkanen. And should have I? What's the correct way to say that? I don't know. I feel so conflicted over this because it's 3 stars, and I don't think it's the book's fault. I think it's just personal taste. I personally don't think it wasn't what I expected going into it. I don't think it was as high stakes as I thought it was going to be. And so I think I'm a little disappointed in that section. But yeah, that's basically my end thoughts on it. It was intriguing. I will say I did want to keep picking it up the entire time I was reading it, and I definitely want to try more of their novels, and I will go in, I think, with a different mindset to them. I think if you like more, I don't want to say domestic thrillers, but a little more calm, not so gory. I think probably because I had just read Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter, I was expecting something a little more Karen Slaughter-y than what I got. And again, I think that's just my problem, not the book's fault. And I also think that my biggest issue with this book and the other book is that I don't think I prefer books when I do not feel strongly about the main character. If I, love a main character, then I usually love the book. And if I really despise the main character, I still have there's still a good chance that I'll like the book, as long as the character is meant to be despised, then I'm okay. But if I just feel blech about the character, especially the main voice of the story, I don't think that the story is right for me. And I definitely felt that way with the June boys. Thea, the main character, I just did not feel super excited about her. I don't think it's necessarily the the book's fault. I think it's more me and the writing style and not meshing there. And then with this book, it's really, really complicated because I don't think that you're meant to feel strongly about Shay. Like, I definitely felt sorry for her and I felt protective toward her, I guess is the right way to say it. But I'm frustrated that she was so malleable. Like, she just changed anytime someone was like, why don't you change? She was like, okay, that's such a good idea. Like, that's what it felt like to me. And I don't think it's the book's fault. I think the author made me feel exactly the way I was supposed to feel, that you're supposed to look at Shay and be like, she's just there. And as, you know, the sisters come into her life, I think she's supposed to develop into something better. I just don't like that storyline. I don't mesh with it. I've said mesh like a million times in this 5-minute clip. I don't sit well with that. So I'm gonna quickly just rehash everything I've already said about both the books. The June Boys is the April book of the month for the Booksplosion book club. They are hosted by Kat from Cattastic, Christine from Xtina May or Poland Books. I don't know exactly what her book channel is. And then Jessie from Jessie the Reader. Their live show is on the Booksplosion channel and it is May 3rd. Gave this book, I think I'm going to give it 3.5 stars because I definitely want to reread it. And I think if I reread it, it'll be a 4 stars. I loved the multimedia aspect of it. The letters in here definitely made this book interesting for me. And I think if those letters were not in here, I would not like this book. I also loved the last 100 pages. But again, if you have to get to 100 pages to finally be excited about the book, if you gotta go 200 pages in and then only enjoy the last 100 pages to their full extent, then is that book a 4-star book? I am interested in reading more Court Stevens. I want to know if their writing style is always like it is in this book, but it's so disconnected feeling to me. It doesn't, I think probably because I don't see the world the way that Thea, the main character, sees the world. I didn't vibe with it. I liked the mystery. I liked the twist with the mystery. I thought it was very interesting. I did not like the romance in this book. I thought it was just so secondhand, and it was weird because it was like it wouldn't be mentioned for pages upon pages, and then randomly it'd be like, are we gonna break up? And I'm like, girl, there are people dying. Worry about that. But those are my like full thoughts. I still think like I need a second read to fully understand how I feel about this book, and I'm not gonna read it a second time right away. So catch me back in a couple months when I come back here and say that this book is the best thing ever written. Now on to You Are Not Alone. This is a 3-star book for me. I thought it was interesting, and I mean, I wanted to keep picking it up. But again, I think Shay, the main character, was not my focus. I only really was interested in this for the Moore sisters and for their like friend group and what they were up to. And I'm not saying that you have to hate every antagonist in a story, but you definitely shouldn't like them more than the main character most of the time. And I liked him more. That's my main complaint. I don't think I have any other issues for it other than it's just kind of blah. I don't think that anything is revealed too easily or that anything is held back too long. I think we get the information we need in the time that we need it, but it is kind of a slower paced book. I do think that is a thing to note. But again, this is my first physical thriller and it's not what I expected, and it's from 2 authors that I've never read before. So this could just be me personally. And I want to know what everyone else says. Oh, I totally forgot. This is the Literally Dead Book Club April Book of the Month. It's hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala and her co-host Ellias from Ellias Reads. Their discussion is I think on May 11th. I don't know the time on Books and Lala's channel. I want to know what she thinks because I know Kayla reads a lot of their books and I know she reads just a multitude of thrillers. So she's got to have more coherent thoughts and more reasons on why she does or does not like it. So I'm really interested to hear that. And then I don't know if Ellias, I don't think I've ever paid attention to if Ellias reads a lot of thrillers or not. So I just want to know what he thinks because maybe he's in the same boat as me. Maybe not. I'll do some more research. Those are the 2 books I have read this week, and I'm excited for the discussions. I'm excited to hear everyone's thoughts. I will link all the channels that I've mentioned, the books that I've mentioned, and everything else. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I hate saying that, but I got it because it really helps me out. And Kira really wants it too. Come here, baby. She wants y'all to like and subscribe too. She's looking at a bird outside the window. I think I've said all I need to say. I don't have anything else on my mind except for maybe a nap. So I'm gonna go now. Bye.